Hello, welcome to a new episode of the series Sex, Love and Relationship. Last time we talked about the true concept and purpose of sex. Today I'm going to dwell more on the purpose of sex. Dr. Miles Monroe of blessed memory says that when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. It means that if we do not know why something was created, then we'll use it the way it should not be used. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1 says, there is a right time for everything. When God designed sex, he had the purpose in mind. However, the world system changed the original purpose for which God created sex. God had two major purposes when he designed sex and a third one. And so today I'm going to be talking about those three purposes of sex, and it will give us an understanding of what we're supposed to do with what we feel in our body. The first thing I'm going to talk about today is that God designed sex for consummation, for bonding, and for intimacy. God says when Adam knew his wife, then they became one. So God wants you to become one in spirit, soul, and body with whoever you marry. In 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 16, God says you become one with whoever you join yourself to. That is to say that when you have sex with someone, you're giving your heart to them. God wants you to be protected from joining yourself to the wrong person, which results in heartbreak, loss of trust, and soul ties. God wants you to have sex with someone who is trustworthy, someone who has committed their lives to you in marriage. You see, marriage is the only place where you can be vulnerable but not afraid, because you both have made a lifetime commitment to share your life with each other. Before marriage, you are to become one in spirit with the Lord, and also one in spirit with the one you marry. And joining yourself to someone you are not married to hinders you from being joined to the Lord in spirit. This explains why a man leaves his father and mother and is joined to his wife in such a way that the two become one person. Now, although the man and his wife were both naked, neither of them was embarrassed or ashamed. That is Genesis chapter 2 verse 24 to 25 from the Living Bible. Sex is for the purpose of intimacy and bonding in marriage and consummation. And God doesn't want you to be joined to somebody spiritually or solically in body with someone who have not committed their lives to you in marriage. So it is very easy for a guy who has not committed to you, to marrying you, or a lady who has not committed to marrying you. It's very easy for them to just walk out of your life because they've had you and seen it all. So it is important that you know that marriage is for consummation, and God will not have you go around joining yourself with so many people. And how many people will you have to join yourself with before you eventually get married? That is to say, if you've joined yourself with 10 people, then you're bringing 10 more people to join yourself with someone who you getting married to. So sex is for consummation, it is for intimacy, it is for bonding. So you must understand that is the first and most important purpose for which God created sex. The second thing I want to talk about today is procreation. Genesis chapter 4 verse 1 says, then Adam had sexual intercourse with Eve his wife, and she conceived and gave birth to a son. She conceived and gave birth to a son with his wife, and then she conceived and gave birth to a son. The second purpose of sex is procreation, which means the production of offsprings. So when God says we should go into the world and multiply, that is the means by which he wants humans to multiply. So that's why I said in the last episode that what you're feeling in your body is not strange, it's not wrong. God put it there so that the human race can multiply. God did not put the sex drive in man just for pleasure. He put it there so that the human race can multiply. God's plan for sex is that it results in the reproduction of the human race within the confines of marriage. God wants children to be born into a loving and caring family with both parents. One major problem society is facing is the alarming rate of children born out of wedlock, out of a loving relationship, out of marriage. And this has seen about the rise, in abortion. Many people who are not married engage in sex regularly, but become distraught, become angry, become, depressed when they get pregnant. I like to tell people, if you do not want to have children or bear the guilt of abortion, then stop having sex until you get married. One of the consequences of sex is that you get pregnant, and so if you do not want it, then you have to keep yourself until you find that one that you like to spend the rest of your life with. So I said the first purpose is consummation, bonding, and intimacy, and then the second purpose for where God created sex is procreation, and the third reason is pleasure, which we can also say recreation or having fun. Pleasure is a feeling of happy satisfaction and enjoyment. Sex has a feeling thrill that keeps people addicted to the act. That's why God doesn't want you to begin what you will not be able to finish. God wants you to enjoy the feeling that sex gives. However, He does not want you to place sexual pleasure above intimacy, bonding, and procreation. God wants you to enjoy the momentary thrilling experience that sex gives, but only within the confines of marriage. Anyone who attaches more importance to the pleasure sex gives above the value of intimacy, bonding, and procreation is at the danger of being addicted to the act. You see, the act of sex is very, very addictive, and that's why God will have you do it with someone who you are committed and married with. He doesn't want you to jump from one place to another, risking your soul, risking your body, risking your entire life. The purpose of sex is intimacy, consummation, bonding, and the second one, procreation, pleasure. So when you start to feel what you're feeling in your body, you must understand that what God put it there for is reason and for a season. And if you're old enough, if you're matured enough to get married, to have children, to keep a home, God will have you find your spouse and then get married to them and enjoy the gift of sex within the confines of marriage. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to having you listen to the next episode again. And in the next episode, we're going to be talking about the truth about sex. Have a wonderful week ahead. God bless you. I am Comfort Michael SULE.